Hey, it's Sarah from Swiss SFN. So I hope you guys are doing okay. These are trying times, and I just want to make a little video because if you're in a region where you have to stay at home and stuff, I figured it'd be interesting to share my tips and tricks to save power when the car is parked for a long period of time. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first of all, when you're driving, what you can do is you can, of course, turn off the air if you want. The nice thing about that is it will also not give you too much outside air, which might have stuff you don't want in it. And then if you go to driving, I usually have it on standard for acceleration, but now I put it in chill. That means that even if I press hard on the gas, on the accelerator, I won't get that much power, which will also help me save battery. Now, one thing that's really important is on safety and security. I'm sorry, that's not what I wanted. Make sure that when you're parking the car for a long period of time that you turn Sentry Mode off. Sentry Mode will eat through your battery when parked. So if you're going to park the car for a while, make sure that you turn it off. That way it will not eat that much battery. Also, the other thing you should know is Sentry Mode will prevent the car from going to sleep. The car sleep mode is a special mode that will power down everything and save you some electricity when the car is not moving.
And also camp mode.
No, camp mode is for something else. Now, I think you don't have to just turn off the rest. I think those are not really using up a lot. Cabin overheat protection should be off also, because you're not going to need it if you're parking the car for a while. At least you shouldn't leave anything in the car that could damage it. Okay, so when you're parking the car, if you have a place where you can charge it, you should plug it in. Even with a nominal charger, that will work fine. And don't worry, it will not overcharge the battery. You should set it to charge up to 80%, not more. And that way the battery management system will do what it has to do. The manual actually recommends that you charge it, plug it in if you can, when you're not going to use the car for a while. You can trust the BMS to do exactly what it's supposed to do. Now, if you're like me and you don't have a place to charge the car while it's parked for a long time, what I would recommend is that it's in a safe place so that you don't have to turn Sentry Mode on. And it will also be a good thing to have a connection to the network if you can. That way you could check on the car remotely. Now, that's the last thing that's important. I know it's not intuitive, but try not to check the car status too often. Basically, every time you ask the car for a remote status with the app, you're actually waking up all the computers. And so your car will be in sleep mode if you did turn off Sentry Mode, which I really recommend for these types of things. And if you wake it up, it will power up and it will stay on for a little while before it powers back down. So every time you check the status of the car, you will be eating up a little bit of your battery just because you're powering all these systems on. So what I recommend is that you check on it not often, like maybe every week or every 4 or 5 days, something like that, but do not check on it a lot. Now, I want to give you a ballpark of what to expect. So I last checked the battery, I think it was 4 days ago. Yes, that's right, 4 days ago. And the battery level was at 393 kilometers. And 4 days later, it was at 391. So that actually is not much. 2 kilometers over 4 days is really, really not much. So in percentage, that's less than 1%. So the car will go into these deep sleep modes. And the longer you leave it like that, the longer, and without waking it up, it will actually figure out that it's being stored for a long time. And it will not, it will power down even more systems. So my recommendation is really trust the system to do what is right, and that way you'll lead up as little battery as you can. I know the temptation is big to check up on it, but try to refrain from it. All right, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it and you learned something. If you did like it, make sure to put a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when I release the next video. And of course, don't hesitate to use the comments if you have any feedback or any questions that you want. I'll make my best effort to answer as quickly as possible. And of course, thanks to all of you that have used my referral code. If you're going to buy one of these great cars, you can wait a bit, that's fine. But I really recommend it. These are really new technology and amazing cars. And so you should use the referral code, and that way you'll get a free supercharger electricity. And my code is always in the description below. Thank you for all of you who've already used it. Okay, that's it for this video. Thinking of all of you guys. I hope everybody's okay, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.